Sri Sai Ram. Hearty welcome to Sri Sathya Seva Gurukulam online classes. How are you all? You had lunch? Okay. Be ready. Only few minutes, okay? Be attentive, don't get up from the place, okay? Now, we are in a very interesting topic called chemical effect of electric current. In that we have seen what is meant by electrical conductors and insulators. What are conductors? That is not bus conductor. Bus conductor is one who conducts the bus, giving tickets, making them to sit properly. It solves the problems inside the bus, correct? Similarly, electric conductor means what? That substances which allow the flow of electric current. Can you name some of them? Correct? Copper, aluminium, then what? Platinum, gold, silver and so on. What about insulators? They are just opposite to this. They do not allow the flow of current through them. Can you name? Wood, paper, glass, rubber, etc. And also we have seen that there will be some liquids which conduct electricity. For example, of course, water also a very poor conductor, and lemon juice, for example, it conducts electricity. Some vegetable solutions, they conduct electricity. Copper sulfate solution, all acids, bases, salt solutions, they conduct electricity. Also we have seen what is meant by LED. What is LED? Light emitting diode. And testers, we have seen in the previous class. And battery, what is battery? Battery is nothing but 3 or more cells together called battery. Is it not? And solutions of acids. Can you name some of the acids? Correct? Nitric acid, sulfuric acid, hydrochloric acid. Bases, sodium hydroxide solution, potassium hydroxide solution, calcium hydroxide solution, etc. Salts, sodium chloride, copper sulfate, silver nitrate and so on. They all conduct electricity. And also we have seen that electric current will have 3 effects: heating effect, magnetic effect and chemical effect. What is heating effect? When a current is passed through a coil, heat is produced. You have seen in the kitchen oven or boilers, you can feel the water gets hot, becomes hot. And magnetic means you have dynamo, motor and so on. Chemical effect, that is what you are studying now. Passing electricity through solutions decomposed into ions, is it not? And let us see home assignments. When the free ends of a tester are dipped in a solution, into a solution, the magnetic needle shows deflection. Can you explain the reason? So there is a magnetic needle. What is the direction in which the needle comes to rest? Yes, north to south. Why does it happen like that? Because Earth is a huge magnet, and in that magnet always the magnetic needle shows north-south direction. The solution is a good conductor of electricity. When the free ends of a tester are dipped into a solution and the magnetic needle shows deflection. Sometimes even if you take only tester, it may not give answer, especially small currents. Then this magnetic needle will help, also called as compass needle. Small change also it shows. What does it show? It shows that whenever the current is flowing, there will be magnetic effect. That is the meaning. So there will be deflection. That is the meaning what you can make out. And also we have seen next question. Name the three liquids which when tested may cause the magnetic needle to deflect. Examples: lemon juice. Can you name the acid there? Citric acid. How many have drank lemon juice? Almost all of you, right? Then salt water. What is the formula for salt? Salt is sodium chloride. Sodium chloride solution. And vegetable oil. And so on. There are so many others also. What do? They will allow electricity to pass through them. Hence, these liquids, when tested, cause the magnetic needle to deflect. So, when a current passes through the solution, there will be deflection in the magnetic needle. Okay? That's what we have seen. Last question. Does pure water conduct electricity? Yes or no? What do you say? If not, what we can do to make it conduct electricity? Okay, answer is pure water does not conduct electricity, even distilled water also. But tap water conducts. Why? Boreal water, tap water conduct electricity. Why? Because they have dissolved ions. So now if pure water is not conducting, what should you do for that? Add a pinch of common salt. Need not be common salt only. You can take copper sulfate also, or a sulfuric acid also, nitric acid also, anything, any conducting material is added to it. As salt solution is conducting in nature. So pure water, or you can say distilled water, does not conduct electricity. Only when you add some of the salt to it, it conducts electricity. Now let us see some important things, topics for today. Chemical effect of electric current. Activity on chemical effects of electric current. Activity on testing the electrical conductivity in potato. So these are the three things we have to study for today. Let us go one by one. Ready? Okay. First one, chemical effect of electric current. In that we have one activity. We already studied the heating effect. Can you give examples? Iron box. Do you know what the amount of heat comes in that? 1 kilowatt, 1000 watts. So you must be very careful. I think somewhat you have already experienced shock. When the switch is on, the plate inside that iron box gets heated up. And if you touch it by miss, don't try it, very very hot it is, about 1000 watts. Even tester also, the heating effect, there will be a small coil inside, and if you test it now, it gives light in that. Magnetic effect, you have electromagnets, electric bell, dynamo and so on. Let us now study about chemical effect of electric current. So one interesting experiment or activity you can do here now. So this is 2 carbon rods. Where can you get carbon rods? Yes, actually the carbon means here graphite rods. Here available in the discarded cells. All of you have seen cells, correct? Suppose you break open, don't break open the good one, only wasted one you open it. When you open it, what do you find inside? There are some chemicals in that, black color, like manganese dioxide, ammonium chloride and so on, gum, paste and all. In between, in the middle you have a rod. and that is what is called as carbon rod. Take 2 carbon rods and you have to clean it up, and on the top you have to, so of course metal caps are cleaned with sandpaper. This is the metal caps. You have seen the metal caps on the top of the cell, correct? Suppose you want to get light from the cell, what do you do? Connect the positive, namely metal cap, negative means zinc can. They are to connect to a bulb that gives current. You have seen current? Yeah, metal cap is called positive, zinc can is called negative. When you connect it, they gives current. So you have to take out such type of 2 carbon rods, clean it up, and the metal cap is cleaned by sandpaper. Why sandpaper? It cleans very well, okay, and that metal cap, copper wires are wrapped around the metal caps of carbon rods and are joined to the battery. So here you can see the metal cap, you see these wires, and these wires are connected to battery. What is battery? It is a summation of many cells. This long line represents positive, small line represents negative. So also here. So usually 4, minimum is 4 cells are needed, and this is all the connection. So here you must take water, and we discussed that the pure water is not conducting electricity. You have to add some, come on, salt or acid, then only it conducts electricity. So when we call this as electrodes, so this plus and minus, they are called as electrodes. The current will flow in this direction, okay. Take a cup full of water. So in this beaker you keep a cup full of water in a glass or a plastic bowl. A teaspoon of salt is added. Why do you add salt? Because salt is a good conductor in solution form. So water itself is not a good conductor. To make it conducting, you have to add salt. Then now the electrodes are immersed in the solution. So these are electrodes immersed in solution. We have to wait for 3-4 minutes. Some of you will be very hurry, urgently want to see something. The urgency will not work out here. You have to wait for something. Patience it's called. And for experimentation need a lot of patience. And what do you observe? After some time you observe that gas bubbles are collecting near the electrodes. Where do the gas come from? They come from water. What is the formula for water? H2O. So H2O decomposes into hydrogen and oxygen. That hydrogen and oxygen bubbles will be formed. So what do you conclude from this? The passage of electric current through a conducting solution causes chemical reactions. So water decomposes into hydrogen and oxygen. As a result, bubbles of a gas are formed at the electrodes. If you take copper sulfate solution, on passing current, copper metal is deposited on the cathode. If you take water, you get hydrogen and oxygen gas. If you take copper sulfate, you get copper and sulfate. So copper will be deposited in the cathode. In this way, the resulting effects are called chemical effect of electric current. It is chemical, means permanent. To give one example, all of you have seen how, suppose you keep milk, if you add some little of buttermilk, your mother is a very good chemistry teacher. She knows practical chemistry. You may be knowing theory of chemistry. What does she do? She take a normal warm milk and then add some buttermilk to it, little quantity. Tomorrow morning what happens? It becomes curds. It's a chemical change. You cannot get back the milk next day. Is it not? Suppose you churn it. How many of you know churning of milk? Churning of curds, sorry. Some of you, especially girls, may know it very well. So when you churn it, what happens? The curds will become butter and they will float, correct? And that butter you cannot get back into milk again. Suppose heat the butter, what happens? It becomes ghee. So water, milk, curds, then butter, then ghee, all are forms of the same milk. But all forms are new. You cannot get back, correct? So such, that is called chemical change. So here also by passing current, we find some changes, permanent changes. That is called as chemical effect of electric current. Now this is an interesting experiment you can try in your home also. That is testing the electric conductivity in potatoes. Potato is a very cheap and best vegetable available in the market in plenty. And here is a potato cut into two pieces and two metallic wires are connected to it, to a battery and a magnetic compass. So some fruits and vegetables also conduct electricity. Even lemon also conduct electricity. Here we are trying with potato. You can try. A potato is cut into two halves. Okay, like this. You got hemisphere and inserted the copper wires of a tester into it. So the copper wires are inserted, or can use tester also. After half an hour, we can see a greenish blue spot. Here you can see a greenish spot on the potato around one wired, that is positive terminal. So this is positive terminal. We find a green spot. This is positive, this is negative. This is compass needle. Why do you want that? Just to know the flow of electrons. Correct? This was discovered by a British scientist, British chemist by name William Nicholson. He was in the year 1753 to 1815. He shown that electrodes were immersed in water. If electrodes were immersed in water and current is passed, bubbles of oxygen hydrogen are produced. Do you know what is that apparatus called? Voltmeter. What is the condition? You have to add some salt or some acid to the water. Why? Because water is a poor conductor of electricity. Oxygen is collected at the positive terminal and hydrogen is collected in the negative terminal, that is cathode. Okay, so this is William Nicholson. In the year 1800 he found out. Okay, now let us see some home assignment. In case of a fire, before the firemen use the water hoses, they shut off the main electrical supply for the area. Explain why they do so. A child, second question, a child staying in a coastal region tests the drinking water and also the sea water with this tester. He finds that the compass needle deflects more in the case of sea water. Why? Okay, let us see what Sadhguru, third question. What do you mean by chemical effect of electric current? Let us see what Sadhguru Sri Madhusudan Sai says. If you have the firm faith that God is always with you, guiding and leading your way, and if you put in your best efforts with the highest skill and ability, there is no way that you can fail any of your endeavors. So what you must have? Firm faith. What firm faith? God is intane, ventane, nentane, gentane. Means front of you, back of you, above you, below you, everywhere. That faith you must have. What is he doing? He is guiding and leading us. And if you put your best efforts with all skill and ability, then you will not fail in any of your actions. Okay? Come prepared with the answers for the home assignment. Thank you.